published 1906 EDT, the 30th of October 2017, updated 0335 EDT, the 31st of October 2017. Defense Secretary Sir Michael Fallon has apologized for repeatedly touching a radio host's knee until she threatened to punch him in the face. Mr. Fallon has been revealed as the MP who made the gesture to journalist Julia Hartley-Brewer during a Conservative Party conference in 2002. The revelation is the latest incident to follow allegations of UAL harassment, with a spreadsheet of shame naming 6 cabinet ministers accused of various levels of UAL impropriety circulating in Westminster. Mr. Fallon has admitted he was the MP responsible, despite Ms. Hartley-Brewer previously refusing to name the man involved. A close friend of Sir Michael, a married father of 2, said Julius, a good friend of Michael's, he overstepped the mark. She made it clear it was unwelcome and he rightly apologised 15 years ago. A hit list of 36 sitting Conservative MPs branded pests, including 2 serving cabinet members, has emerged in a secret spreadsheet of shame leaked at Westminster. One was said to be handsy with women, another paid a woman to be quiet, while a former Tory minister was said to have propositioned his secretary by asking her to come and feel the length of my C. Defence Secretary Sir Michael Fallon Wright has been revealed as the MP who made the gesture to journalist Julia Hartley-Brewer left during a Tory party conference in 2002. Hartley-Brewer responded last night by saying no one was remotely upset or distressed by the incident in 2002. A dossier pictured redacted by Mail Online naming 36 Tory MPs is circulating within Westminster. Michael Fallon is believed one of 6 cabinet members on the list. Yesterday, Miss Hartley-Brewer, 49, said she was contacted by journalists about the incident in the wake of wider claims of UAL misconduct, but said she regarded it as mildly amusing, comparing her experience of a misjudged UAL overture to serious harassment or assault was absurd and wrong, she argued. Ms. Hartley-Brewer, pictured, said the experience was a misjudged UAL overture and mildly amusing. In a statement on Twitter, she wrote, "Wild rumours and claims are circulating about many male MPs at Westminster in a media feeding frenzy. I have worked in and around Westminster for 20 years and, as far as I am aware, incidents of genuine harassment involve only a small number of MPs from all parties. I believe it is absurd and wrong to treat workplace banter and flirting, and even misjudged UAL overtures between consenting adults, as being morally equivalent to serious UAL harassment or assault. It demeans genuine victims of real offences. Anyone with any allegations should speak up now and provide the evidence to ensure any necessary action is taken." She added, "I have not been a victim and I do not wish to take part in what I believe has now become a Westminster witch hunt." Miss Hartley-Brewer said the minister repeatedly put his hand on my knee during a party conference dinner. "I calmly and politely explained to him that, if he did it again, I would punch him in the face. He withdrew his hand. I have had no issues since with the man and do not regard the incident as anything but mildly amusing, which is why I have declined to name him." In the Sunday Express in 2009, she described how he had propositioned her. She wrote, He told me, a firm believer in the long-standing Westminster rule of party conferences don't count. I told him, a firm believer in not going to bed with other women's husbands." Last night, after Sir Michael had been named, Miss Hartley-Brewer tweeted, "Sigh. This incident happened in 2002. No one was remotely upset or distressed by it. It came as Theresa May was warned she risked sparking a Westminster witch hunt after ministers were told they could be sacked for making staff feel uncomfortable. The Prime Minister ordered a crackdown on parliamentary pests after the latest Westminster sleaze scandal threatened to spiral out of control." Sir Michael was one of 6 cabinet ministers named in a dirty dossier compiled by Tory activists, according to The Sun. A spokesman for the Defence Secretary said he had apologised when the incident happened 15 years ago, and that both he and Miss Hartley-Brewer considered the matter closed. The incident is believed to have happened at a Tory party conference. Miss Hartley-Brewer said last night she did not see herself as a victim. International Trade Minister Mark Garnier, pictured at a Trans Pride event, is accused of calling his secretary Sugar TTS in front of witnesses. Caroline Edmondson, pictured in 2013 with her partner, journalist John Craig, is said to have been asked to buy toys for boss Mark Garnier. Former Cabinet Minister Stephen Crabb admitted sending explicit messages to a 19-year-old woman after a job interview at Westminster. Commons leader Andrea Leadsom said yesterday Tory MPs face being suspended from the party if unwanted UAL comments or advances were found to have made junior staff feel uncomfortable. Mrs. Leadsom, speaking with Mrs. May at her side, said ministers caught up in the scandal could be fired from ministerial office, and the threshold for action would be behaviour significantly below criminal activity. New proposals, including an independent grievance procedure and training for MPs on how to treat their staff, would be brought forward within days, but the proposals sparked unease. One female Tory MP called for perspective, while a female Tory peer warned of creating an atmosphere that might encourage false allegations, as the scandal threatened to engulf Westminster. The Daily Telegraph reported that two female members of a minister's staff moved to other jobs because of his inappropriate behaviour. A spokesman for the minister, who has not been named, said he did not recognise the allegations. Downing Street refused to say if Mrs. May retained confidence in Trade Minister Mark Garnier, after claims he asked a female aide to buy toys. Own Tory MP warned colleagues on a WhatsApp messaging group that the scandal could bring down the government. Labour faced questions about its own conduct after frontbencher Cat Smith said she had to run away from a UAL predator in the party. A Commons researcher revealed an MP had asked him to clean his kitchen in his underwear following a boozy night in a Commons bar. May was urged to investigate a secret dossier naming 36 Tory MPs as pests. Yesterday's crackdown followed a string of allegations that senior MPs, including members of the cabinet, have Eweley Harris Jr. colleagues over many years. Tory MP Nadine Dorries said it was right to draw up a proper legal basis for dealing with complaints. But she added, "We need to keep the perspective on this. Mediocre men behaving badly hold good women back in many workplaces across the UK, not just in Westminster. We need action in terms of separating the historic and legal behaviour between consenting adults, from that which has serious grounds for complaint. My guess is that may boil down to very little, otherwise, it turns into a witch hunt which benefits no one," and Baroness Jenkin warned against creating an atmosphere that encouraged false allegations. Senior parliamentary figures have met to discuss ways for victims of UAL assault to speak up without fear. The move came after Mrs. May called for a new independent helpline to deal with complaints. Commons Speaker John Bercow also called for change in Parliament amid what he described as disturbing allegations. Mrs. May has been stung by claims she ignored evidence of UAL harassment because the information was useful to Tory whips. Theresa May was in the Commons yesterday to see Commons leader Andrea Leadsom take questions from MPs.